This is part 2 of my conversation with Emily Jacobson, who is a pelvic floor physical therapist that I have worked with in the past. If you haven't heard part 1 of our conversation, I encourage you to pause and go back one episode to hear the start of this conversation, where we talk about before getting pregnant, pregnancy, and then continue the conversation on this episode talking about postpartum and our pelvic floor health. Now, Emily is a mom of 3 and wife to her childhood sweetheart. She loves learning and educating those around her about pelvic health. And in her spare time, she loves being outdoors with her family, gardening, fitness, and learning new things. Emily has developed and implemented a thriving pelvic health program for focused physical therapy in Plymouth, Wisconsin. She has given countless women the freedom and strength to feel like themselves again. And she is here today to have a conversation about pelvic floor therapy with us. All right, let's get into part 2 of this conversation. Hey mama, are you struggling with how to make time for yourself as a work-at-home mom? Are you drowning in laundry and dishes, poopy diapers, and kids who are constantly screaming, Mom, even though they're 5 feet away from you? I get it. I'm Jessa Ray, and this is Caught Up in Motherhood, where I want to help you set priorities, create boundaries, ask for help, and learn to love yourself in motherhood again. You can show up for you without sacrificing motherhood and without the guilt. So if you're ready to be caught up in motherhood, then go grab a fresh cup of coffee and that laundry basket sitting in the corner. Don't worry, I've got mine too. And listen in to today's episode. The things that we can do, the education is so big. And knowing more as you go, and both of us having 3 kids, like we've talked about, we've both have grown and learned with each one. And the hope is that you can kind of learn from what we've talked about and what we've been and having someone like Emily in your corner to be like, no, that's not normal. No, that's not okay. Yes, we can do something about that. I think is so huge. So the education, the getting prepared, the education during pregnancy for delivery, whatever that's going to look like for you. Mm-hmm. And then after having baby, right? So we talked a little bit about that. Like you can do scar mobility for those that have the C-section, or if you had tearing and kind of fixing that and relieving that and then helping organs move back into place. Obviously, seeing Emily, someone like you, the time frame is going to be different per person depending on what they need. Right. But postpartum, what can someone kind of expect for those visits?
Yeah, I love seeing mommies like 2 to 3 weeks out, whatever they're comfortable with, honestly. You know, everyone discharges a little bit differently and their comfort level is different. So we do tend to schedule that right away. And honestly, when you hit that 3-week mark, mommies just love having that outing, like that purposeful outing, whether they bring baby along, and our whole clinic at Focus Physical Therapy loves when babies come along. Or moms come in and they like have makeup on and they're all ready. And I was like, where are you going today? And they're like, I just get some mommy time out. Like, this is amazing. So postpartum, we kind of start back over with a little bit of a reassessment. What does mommy need? What is mommy feeling? How's your milk supply? Are you leaking? Have you, thought about intimacy with your significant other at all? And we kind of go back to square one in a different lens. And that starts pushing us and gearing us to what your plan of care is going to look like, and really your frequency needed aftercare. There's for sure going to be, upwards of 2 to 3 months hanging out, because it really does take a good amount of time for, first of all, your uterus to go back to size. And it's not going to be by the time we're done, but at least, concepts and things to look for and how to self-care for yourself and what to do. And then, of course, there's lifting baby. Now you don't have a stomach in your way because that beautiful baby is in front of you and you get to snuggle and hold them. But it turns out getting up from the floor with a baby in your arms, if you have a toddler on one side or without the toddler, it's a challenge. It's like, how do I get up? My stomach muscles are significantly less efficient for us, and we have to learn how to walk and talk and get up and move again.
Yeah. I like your visual there with the toddler and the baby getting off the floor. As he was like, "Yeah, yeah, that's definitely a struggle at times."
Mhm.
And then the nursing stuff too, like, I think you don't really think about it, like, are you bringing baby to chest or chest to baby? And then are you by doing that, bringing chest to baby, like, are you hurting your back in the process? And I know we've had that conversation too of how are you nursing? How are you feeding? Like, "Oh, I'm doing it this way." "Okay, good." It's like checking in with your parent, like, "Okay, good, you're eating your vegetables? Great." It's like the same idea to me. Making sure that you're doing the right things to help support yourself so you're not having those unnecessary pains by, bad posture, and then having more work to do to get things moving again. I think it's just so much fun, like, talking about the different pieces that we can do and the mommy days out like that.
Mm.
I'm definitely in that group where it was always fun to, like, get dressed, like, actually wear, like, going out of the house clothes and hopefully not have spit up all over the clothes when you get there.
It's just a living accessory, you know?
Uh-huh. Mhm.
The other day I had a booger on my shoulder for probably 4 hours in the morning before I noticed it. "Oh, my daughter came to work with me today."
Yep, yep, and you just never know, and most people, I feel like they're not gonna say anything 'cause they're like, "Been there. I get it. Don't
"I'm
care."
with you, mom. I'm with you, mama." High
Uh-huh.
five.
Mhm. So, I wanted to ask Emily, when this is all, like, said and done, like, mama's got her baby, she's doing all these things, and she's starting to feel like herself again. She's ready, let's say, for the next baby,
Mhm.
right? She's learned what she's doing. Does she just kinda start this process all over again? Or what would she do this, like, 2nd, 3rd baby, like, after seeing you for, like, that 1st pregnancy?
Yep, so I've had a couple mamas, it it doesn't necessarily, change with how much time is between babies. Like, some
Okay.
mamas wait a little bit longer, they get back to full exercise and running marathons and all the fun things, and then they're pregnant. They might be at a state where they don't need it right away because they know some of that information and they know the concepts, but really coming back and, like, let's just check in.
Mhm.
Where is your pelvis at? I do always promote for that first recheck. 2nd trimester, come in, let's touch base.
Are you lost in motherhood and feeling overwhelmed with managing it all? The house, the kids, the running around, and everything in between. You're just so tired that the thought of taking time for yourself is simply exhausting. So instead, you numb out on social media and eat those snacks that are hiding in the back of the freezer. And while you're doing this, you're beating yourself up and comparing yourself to the others that you see online, wondering, why can't I do that? Why doesn't my house look like that? And then you go to bed and you tell yourself you'll do better tomorrow. Tomorrow, you'll take some time for yourself. Tomorrow, you'll go to bed early. Tomorrow, you'll plan a date night. But tomorrow never comes. Those promises that you keep making to yourself, they don't happen because you keep doing the same thing over and over again, just like yesterday, but you're expecting different results. I know this feeling. I have been there. I have been lost in these moments of feeling inadequate in loving my kids and wanting to provide for them in the best way possible, but feeling like I'm failing. Like I'm not doing enough. I'm not good enough. You are not alone, Mama. I see you and I want to help you get past this. Get past these negative feelings and thoughts. I want to see you thrive in your motherhood journey and own this season that you're in. I want to help you see the positive in the everyday and enjoy the little moments and learn how to support yourself again. I want to be your best mom friend next door, whose door is always open, the iced coffee is always ready, and that porch swing is always swinging. I am here to guide you through the tough days because, Mama, I've been there. I know what you're feeling, and it's okay. These feelings are valid, but it's how we respond to them that can change the course of our day. Now, Mama, this right here, these feelings that you're experiencing right now, this is why I created my Mama Connection Coaching. I want to help mamas like you, mamas like me, mamas that want to do it all, that know that it starts with them and how they talk to themselves. Mamas that know that you can do it. You just need a little help, a little encouragement to get started. So what do you say? Are you ready to come knock on my door and start connecting with yourself again? Are you ready to feel caught up in your motherhood journey, to know that you got this? Then I encourage you, Mama, to book a Mama Connection coaching call today so that tomorrow can come and you will be ready and you got this.
Other mamas are like, hey, I have an 8-month-old and I'm pregnant again. Awesome.
Oh, I went there like that.
Yes. A few people I know have done that.
Yeah.
And those muscles, even your uterus has not fully returned back to, its quote unquote normal size. So there's you're kind of starting off inefficient, but you know what you have to do. And there's just a little bit more nurturing that we're going to do right away and maybe see each other a little bit more frequent. In this whole process, number one is, are you comfortable too? If you're not comfortable, you're not going to carry a very healthy environment for baby to snuggle up and camp out for a little bit longer. You're not going to sleep well. And guess what? You need your sleep because baby 1 and 2 are still running around. They still need your loving and dear attention. So it's the same concepts. It's just that reassessment is going to tell us, where are we on the spectrum? How often do we need to see each other? Do I need to bring up a couple concepts that maybe were forgotten and you didn't need last time? Maybe those golden nuggets, they didn't stick last time because they didn't really apply. And that's okay. We need to hear things 2, 3, 4 times and then experience and say, wait, what did she say? Oh yeah. Then we revisit it and then it sticks. And then it's, we go from there.
And I think from past conversations too, like the things that happen in your first pregnancy, let's say that you have pains and discomforts and they go away when you're not pregnant. Is there a chance that they'll come back with the next pregnancy?
Of course. Yep. Your body's still going to go through change. Your body's still going to have a ramp up in hormones. Those hormones love to make our joints and a little bit more lax, maybe. Our muscles are stretching out, so they're pulling on different body parts. And frankly, you might be in a new chapter in your life. Maybe you went from a sit-down job to now you're standing and walking around.
Yeah.
Significantly different. Or vice versa, maybe this time you didn't have any pain last time and you have a little pain this time. What team members do we need to bring on that we didn't have last time? Maybe you want a different delivery method. Maybe you want to try an at-home birth versus at the hospital. It's hard to get lost, or it's hard to not get lost in so much information out there that, like, what is the information that I need to hear as a mama? Round 2, round 1, 3, 4, whatever. But it's nice to have, somebody that has all the resources locally that can say, hey, have you ever seen acupuncture? Have you taken a break and gotten a massage for yourself? Those kinds of things.
Yeah. So this has been really, really good information. Like, I love all the information about the pelvic floor, the different stages of pregnancy, and why we need it. Because, like, for those listening, if you've been listening for a while, you know how much I think pelvic floor therapy is important to have that extra support. And Emily, for those that are not local to the Wisconsin area and the Plymouth West Bend area, for those women first, let's say, what can they do to find someone, their own Emily, in their neck of the woods?
So if somebody's looking for a pelvic floor physical therapy therapist near them, there's this wonderful site that you can go to, and you can plug in your city, your zip code, your state, or if you know the practitioner's name, you can find out where they're at, but more likely you're going to be searching the state specific one. It's pelvicrehab.com.
Really simple.
Truthfully, if you go to Google and you type in, pelvic floor physical therapist near me,
Yeah.
it does show up. It's pelvicrehab.com.
Okay. And that'll help those that are not local find someone to work with. Now, for my mamas that are local, how do they get in contact with you if they want to come see you specifically?
Right. So I work at a Focus Physical Therapy in Plymouth, Wisconsin, and it's as easy as calling in, and our lovely receptionist will do all of the work, walking you through the process and getting you started.
That's awesome. So I will have for you guys in the show notes the information to get in contact with Emily directly, and then that other website for those of you that are not in the area and don't get to meet Emily in person, but you can find your own and get your pelvic floor therapy as well. So I want to say thank you, Emily, so much for coming on today and talking with us about pelvic floor health, things that we can do to better support ourselves for pregnancy, during, and after. So thank you again.
Thank you, Jessa. It's been a pleasure.
Hey, Mama. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I know you have a lot going on, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen. I hope this episode gave you new energy to tackle today. If so, could you leave a review and subscribe to the podcast so that you never miss an episode? That would mean the world to me. I'd also love to connect with you on Instagram, so send me a DM and let me know if this episode was helpful. I love hearing from you. Remember, Mama, you got this. Until next time, I'm Jessa Ray, and this is Caught Up in Motherhood.